Welcome to today's leadership session on assessment. The purpose of today's meeting is to take a look at assessment in your schools and your role as the assessment leader. Our session will also focus on Scott E.L.'s 2015 work on aspects that leaders need to have in order to be effective in leading assessment. As a leader, your knowledge needs to include assessment, evaluation, values, professional skills, and procedural knowledge. Today we will be discussing what assessments are being administered in your schools, what is working, what kind of data you are gathering, and how it meets your school's goals. From there, we will look at how your school interprets the data and how the analysis will guide leading, instruction, and learning. You will be placed into breakout rooms to have small group discussions to consider your reflections on effective instructional design and how assessment is included in that process. When you are pushed into your rooms, please take a few minutes to introduce yourself and provide some background on yourselves and your school. We will reconvene in a few moments.
Hello, it's great to meet you. I'm a principal at an urban middle school with a diverse population. I have plenty of experience of assessment at many grade levels, so I've been able to utilize my past experiences to support staff members. We have been focusing on collaboration and task design and lesson planning along with assessment strategies. I'm proud to say our staff has shown great accommodation of students and personalized learning can be observed in every classroom. Our staff members have been working on meeting student needs and providing individualized support. At our school, we have a concrete sound vision about our goals and what we should be working on as a school community. Although I trust teachers with their assessment strategies and accountability that they are following curriculum standards. Since I have that accountability with my staff, I do not visit classrooms regularly throughout the day. I believe that they should have autonomy in their own classrooms and figure out what works for them and their students. I do not want my staff to feel as if I am overstepping during their instruction time. I am here to support my staff, but each teacher uses their own assessment tools or strategies. In terms of providing feedback to staff, I think it is important for staff members to be direct about what they want feedback about.
So nice to meet you. I also lead an urban middle school. I know that in my role as principal, not only am I responsible for understanding curriculum, but also for ensuring our staff are using strong assessment practices. I myself am quite passionate about assessment. I have used a variety of assessment tools and strategies in my many years of teaching grade 7 math and science. However, I'm struggling to apply what I was doing in my classroom to all grades and subjects. As part of our school goals, our staff has recently been working towards incorporating more sound assessments into our teachers' practices. We've been able to engage in whole school PD around assessment, and I've been able to arrange for many of our teachers to attend more personalized PD. Our staff has a really strong understanding of assessment strategies and tools as a result, and I make sure all our PLC meetings have time devoted to creating and using consistent assessments. However, this focus on using consistent assessments may have gone a bit too far as teachers are not adapting to their own needs and classes. UDL is not apparent as our teachers are teaching and assessing every student in the same way. I know this is something we need to work on. I think it is really important to be present in my staff's classrooms. I like to see what they're doing so I can provide effective feedback to help us grow and learn. Without the great relationships between staff members, our school would lack the trust necessary to do this. Fortunately, we've been able to create a trusting culture.
Welcome back. Scott E.L. 2015 have identified a framework that supports lifelong learning leaders, also known as the 4L framework. This demonstrates what leaders need to know, be able to do, as well as appreciate and value within the highly politicized and contentious sphere of assessment and evaluation. The framework outlines qualities of an effective leader needed for assessment. Let's take a closer look at the framework. First, lifelong learning leaders have the visionary capacity to create and co-conceptualize frameworks founded upon their own philosophies, goals, and visions. In doing so, they consider the ethic of care for students in assessment, such as how to incorporate student voice into assessments and learning, exploring equity in the sense of fairness and sameness of assessment practices, with teachers to ensure a common understanding of inclusive practices for assessment and learning. It also includes having the courage and commitment to take risks and understanding assessment practices from multiple stakeholders. In the second part, do leaders have boundary-breaking entrepreneurialism? This term enables assessment leaders to challenge teacher compliancy and poor practice, thus questioning whether or not inclusive practices exist to meet diverse student needs. Furthermore, are teachers utilizing qualitative and quantitative data to inform instructional and assessment practices? Assessment leaders must seek to encourage innovative assessment through team teaching and collaboration. This ensures that teachers are working together to collaborate on common assessments and embed transparency for all stakeholders. In number 3, lifelong learning leaders employ their professional skills utilizing their knowledge, skills, and attitudes to build trusting relationships, develop an empowering vision, possess a knowledgeable and dignified decision-making capacity, be able to effectively collaborate and communicate with others, and maintain a high standard code of ethics. Next, in number 4, assessment leaders are exceptionally knowledgeable and confident in instructional design and assessment literacy. Leaders are competent and proficient in instructional design for diverse learners, whereby differentiated instruction and assessment practices are deeply understood and can be modeled. Subsequently, assessment leaders demonstrate the ability to collect, read, and interpret assessment data to determine meaning and communicate it to others. This can inform decision-making to make changes or guide next steps in instructional and assessment practices. Finally, number 5. Leaders use their ethic of care, coupled with courage and commitment, to protect the vulnerable, usually students, and access support services to demonstrate crisis management. Furthermore, lifelong learning leaders build professional capacity around assessment with teachers to ensure fair, effective, and equitable practices. Now that you've all received some background information, please identify and talk about areas that you find yourself struggling with in your breakout rooms.
In terms of PD sessions for the school, I schedule PD sessions when certain issues need to be addressed when they are brought to my attention. I have been struggling with providing feedback for staff and scheduling regular PD sessions that are relevant to staff members. I trust my staff and how they are assessing students, but I recognize I should work on providing feedback and guidance for staff and listen to what PD sessions they feel are necessary. I have also noticed that my staff does not have a clear or cohesive assessments in their classrooms among grade teams. I am concerned about this as I am accountable for this consistency.
Some of my teachers may say I'm a bit too involved, but I really like to have a sense of what's happening on the ground level. Some have accused me of micromanaging. However, I like to think that my staff trusts what I ask them to do and know that I always lead by example. What good is it if I talk the talk but can't walk the walk? I'm under such pressure from our district to continually improve our provincial achievement test scores, so I'm using those standardized tests as a barometer for measuring achievement overall. Because of this, teachers have become quite competitive, trying to best each other, and our collaboration has suffered as a result.